Hi, it's Tom from Thoughtism. Welcome to video number 2 in this series. First of all, I would like to thank everyone for the wonderful comments and questions that were posted online and emailed in to me from video number 1. Scott would like to start his own business. Susan wants to find a wonderful relationship and says she experienced a mind shift from video number 1. And Ari would like to make a lot more money and go on a lot of vacations. Those are all wonderful future visions, and each and every one of you can attain those and a whole lot more. If you haven't seen video 1 yet, then I strongly suggest you take a look. There's a link to it right under this window. In video number 1, we talked a lot about the strategy of feeling good about what you want to attain in order to attain it, and how that in and of itself is not really an effective strategy. We talked about why that is the case and what you can do to overcome this so you can move forward. The goal of this video series is to correct some basic fundamental principles that are normally taught incorrectly and therefore understood incorrectly. And because people don't properly understand them, they actually are held back from attaining what they want in their life. Now, I've been a student and teacher of self-improvement and self-development for more than 30 years, and over that time, I have ingested and digested literally anything I could get my hands on. If there's a book, a CD, an audio cassette, a seminar, a guru, I've been there, done that, and tried to apply it in my life. And I did see incremental gains in many areas of my life, but I wasn't seeing the explosive growth that I truly wanted. I mainly felt like I was spinning my wheels, and most of the time I was feeling pretty frustrated about the lack of results. Many of these teachings had a lot of contradictions and big glaring holes in them, and my mind became obsessed with those. I mean, it should make sense, right? Everything should come together and it should make sense. There shouldn't be these contradictions and these big glaring holes in the logic of what people are teaching. And it was by pursuing the answers to those questions through self-work, self-study, and working with thousands of people that I finally unlocked a few very fundamental keys, shifts in mindsets, shifts in perspective that made everything start to make sense. And that's when I really started to see dramatic results in my life. I started teaching these principles, and the people I taught it to saw dramatic, explosive results in many areas of their lives. Relationships, starting business, financial, getting out of debt, getting new jobs, getting great relationships, traveling the world, you name it, we've been there, we've done that. In this video, video number 2, I'd like to continue our discussions from video number 1. Again, if you haven't seen video number 1 yet, please click the link below and watch that before you watch this video. Now, in video number 1, we talked about feeling good and how it's not actually a technique to get what you want. What it is a gauge or a compass to let you know if your other techniques are on track or not. We went into that in a lot of detail. In video number 1, I also mentioned negative emotions and what we should do with negative emotions. Now, generally, people are just taught to feel good. And so when negative emotions come up, they generally suppress them, hide them, try and push them away, try and pretend they feel good when they're actually feeling bad, right? And this is not an effective technique. If you have a pile of poop and you wrap it up in pretty wrapping paper, it's still a stinky pile of poop, right? The negative emotions are still there. Now, whenever you're working on attaining a goal, there are going to come times when you feel negative emotions. You're going to feel angry, frustrated, doubtful, fearful, you name it, you're going to feel it. The bigger the goal, the stronger these emotions will be, especially when you're first starting out and first really starting to change your life and trying to apply new techniques. It's inevitable and natural that you're going to feel doubt and fear. And what we do not want to do is we do not want to push those away. We do not want to cover them up. What we do want to do is use them. They're there for a purpose, for a reason, and we're going to use them for our benefit. Now, there's 2 main ways we're going to do this. Number 1, negative emotions help us determine what we truly want. This is very important. Number 2, negative emotions are extremely powerful, and we want to leverage that power and use that energy by focusing it towards what we want. So let's start with using negative emotions to determine what it is we truly want. Now you may say, hey Tom, I know what I want. And if you do, kudos to you. That is wonderful. You are further down the path than a lot of people. The truth is, a lot of people don't know what they actually want. They think they do, but they don't. And there's two main reasons why it can be very difficult for people to find out what it is they truly want. Number one is we're constantly inundated through the media and told what we should want. And what we're told we should want, they do look like great things and things people should want. So people just recite it and say, this is what I want, this is what I want. But that doesn't always align with our true desires within us. You are unique. You have a unique combination of desires within you. You know, some people do want to be a billionaire. Not everybody does. There's a lot of people that want to save the planet and animals. Not everybody does. There's a lot of people that want to live in a mansion. Some people want to go camping, live in a yurt, live in a cottage by a lake, live up in a mountain. A lot of people want to drive a Ferrari. A lot of people want to surf. The point is that we are so inundated by and told through the media what we should want that not everybody has the opportunity to step away from that and examine what they really want. Second reason it's so hard for people to determine what they really want is that, again, through the media, we're really trained to focus on the negative. What's wrong with something? It's everywhere. What's wrong? What's different? What sticks out? What nail has to be hammered down? We're much more trained to focus on the negative than on the positive. And what we do want is a positive, what we don't want is a negative, and so our minds are constantly brought in that direction. It's just how we've been brought up and how we've been trained to think about things. So how do we use negative emotions to help us learn and focus on what we truly want? Well, as I just said, our minds are trained to more easily seek the negative than the positive. So we use that to our advantage. And when these negative emotions are coming up, we don't push them away, we don't suppress them, we realize they're here for a reason, and we can use them to our advantage. We can do something with them. This is most easily illustrated through an example. Okay, let's say I'm feeling really frustrated at work. I want a new job. My goal is I want a new job. I'm frustrated at work. Okay, Tom's frustrated at work. Well, why am I frustrated at work? I have to examine this negative emotion. Well, I'm frustrated because my boss is always telling me what to do. I want to do things a different way, and my way is just as good, or maybe even better, but I always have to do what people say. I always have to follow the rules, and that bugs me. That causes stress in my life. It's just who I am. I also want to make more money. I'm frustrated because I don't have enough to spend. My debt's piling up. I don't have the financial freedom to go on the vacations I want to do, buy the clothes I want to get. All of this frustrates me about my job, so I want a new job. Okay, well, let's go a level deeper. I'm frustrated because my boss is telling me what to do, and I don't have the ability to do what I want. I'm feeling constrained by my finances. Okay, what's frustrating me about those situations? Well, I don't like to be contained. I like to express myself. I've got great ideas. I could really help and improve things. I could enjoy life a lot more and help people a lot more if I had a lot more money. I'm just feeling constrained. I'm feeling frustrated. I'm feeling stuck. I'm really feeling stuck and constrained. Okay, well, what's the opposite of that? Well, the opposite of that is the ability to express myself and the ability to do what I want to when I want to and help people. The opposite of that is freedom. So what I want in my life, what I truly seek, what would make me happy is freedom in my job or what I'm doing, and freedom financially. And that's how you dig down a little bit deeper and use that negative emotion that you're feeling to determine what you truly want. So what I'll go and do and create now in my life is freedom. Financial freedom and freedom in what I do for a living. That's what I focus on. Is that a new job? Yeah, it could be. It could come out through the same job. It could come anywhere. But focusing on just another job isn't going to inspire me. isn't going to give me the passion that I need to attain it. Because another job, if I just focus on another job, it could still have those same constraints. Still working for someone else, still having to do it their way, still financially limited, right? So in the beginning I thought what I want is a new job. Well, that might not be what I truly want. What I truly want is freedom. Freedom financially and freedom to do what I want, to make money and do it my way. That's what I truly want. Now for you, this process and what you want will be completely different. This is just an example, but you can see how you can use that negative emotion. If you dig down just a little bit, you can find that nugget. That's what you truly want. Once you get down to that nugget of what is really, really bugging you and causing those negative emotions, what you truly want is the opposite of that. So the next time you're feeling frustration, fear, anxiety in your life about something, don't just look at the surface. Dig down a couple of layers. Why is that causing me frustration? Why is that causing me frustration? What is it about that I really don't like? And once you get down to that nugget, the opposite of that is what you want. Focus on that and work on attaining that in your life. And you'll have a happy, fulfilling, balanced life. Now, the second way we want to use negative emotions to our advantage is we want to leverage their energy and their power. Negative emotions have a lot of energy. We all know this. They build up and build up and build up within us. Now, we just talked about how you can use your negative emotions to dig down to find that nugget that's really bugging you and causing you all the frustration, fear, anger, whatever it is. Flip that to the opposite, and that is what you truly want. Now, when you do that, when you flip to the opposite and realize what the opposite of that is, you can take all of that negative emotion that is built up and contained within you and focus it like a laser on what you do want. You can feel the energy literally pouring out of you, releasing. It's a very joyous, amazing process and feeling when this happens. You take all that negative emotion that is stuck on what you don't want, and you focus it like a laser on what you just learned you do want. It'll literally pour out of you. And the stronger your negative emotions are, the more impact this will have in your life. The faster you'll see results, and the better you will feel after the process, after you focus all that negative emotions on what you truly do want. It's like flipping a switch. They go from negative contained emotions to positive, joyous, flowing emotions. It's a fairly simple technique to learn, takes a little bit of practice. I lead a lot of people through it, but it can be one of the most powerful techniques you'll ever experience when it's focused properly. Now, if you're like me, you probably tried a lot of self-improvement and self-development techniques and teaching. And if you're like me, most of the time you probably feel like you're spinning your wheels and not really getting where you want to be in your life. Now, there's usually two main reasons for this. Number one is, unfortunately, a lot of what we're taught is incomplete and inaccurate. And I think you probably see already through video 1 and video 2 how what I'm relaying to you differs a lot from everything and anything you've heard in the past. Now, the number two reason is people aren't taught how to auto self-correct. Okay, and what I mean by that is, if you're learning something new, there is technique to it. And just like learning golf for the first time, not every shot you're going to shoot will be perfect. That's natural. That's normal. The problem is if you don't understand why the shot isn't right, so you can't correct it. If you're practicing golf and you understand everything about your swing and your stance and how that affects your shot, then when your shot is off, you know what you should work on and correct in your stance and your swing to make it fly straighter, if that's what you want to do with the ball. Make the ball go where you want to go. Right? The problem with most things we're taught is we're not taught how to correct. We see the shot going this way or that way or this way or that way because we just learned something and we don't know how to fix it. We just know it's not working. Okay, now this brings us back to video number 1. In video number 1, we talked about how positive and negative emotions aren't a technique, but they're a gauge. They're a compass to tell you if you're on track or not. So when we're applying our other techniques, the level to how much we're feeling good naturally within ourselves tells us how good the technique is being applied. So if we're talking about the technique we just learned of refocusing your negative energy onto what you want, okay, the stronger those positive emotions are within you, naturally welling up with you, the more properly you're focusing. Okay? And I guide people through this. We don't have time to go through it in this video, but you use your emotions as a guide or a gauge to auto-correct your techniques. The closer you are to focusing properly, the more naturally the positive emotions naturally well up within you, and it feels joyous. In the next video in this series, we're going to be talking about the reasons why techniques such as visualization and affirmations are very ineffective for the majority of people. If there are effects, they're sporadic and very slow to come about. So that's going to be in video number 3. It's going to be out in just a couple of days. Please watch out for it. It's going to be a lot of very powerful, impactful information for you. Thank you once again for joining me on this video. Please leave your questions and comments in the spaces below on this blog page, or you can send them to this email address. I will respond to everybody. As a bonus, there's also a link below this window that you can click. If you click on there and register, just help us promote this video by posting it 4 times on social media, and you will get access, complimentary free access to our effective appreciation audio. It's over 20 minutes, very effective instruction that can teach you how to use appreciation as an effective change agent in your life, because unfortunately, once again, the way it's normally taught is incomplete and not effective for the majority of people. If you've tried it in the past, you probably have seen sporadic results or minimal results in your life. We can fix all that with this quick 20-minute audio, and you can have it for free. Just post about this video you just saw 4 times on social media through the special links we'll email to you. Just click on the link below. Thank you once again. Video number 3 will be out in just a couple of days. As always, remain at choice.